Hi, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing 9 signs that a man might be lying to you. These are going to be cues that he's giving you or ways that you might be feeling that are pretty good indicators that he's probably not telling you the truth. And if you're watching this video, that's something that you're trying to figure out right now. So let's dive into these, right? The first sign is he is speaking too loudly. He's speaking overly confidently. If a guy is like, if you're asking him like where he was last night and he's like, I was out with my friends, just like I told you, and he's being like unnecessarily aggressive to you, that's one of these examples of a core principle of when a man is lying, that the best defense is a good offense. A lot of times men, if they're lying, will attack, right? Rather than, to just answer something in a diplomatic way. Because if they put you on the defensive, then you're going to stop asking questions and hopefully not catch them in that lie. So if he's being too loud, if he's being overly aggressive, overconfident about where he was, what he's up to, or whatever, could be a sign that he's lying to you. And the second tip is kind of the inverse of that, right? If he's clearly sort of insecure about what it is that he's saying. If he's like, well, I was out with my friends and I was, just doing this. So it's not a big deal. And you almost can hear his throat tighten up, right? Or if his voice gets a lot higher and he's like, why are you even asking me if that's something that I was doing? Of course nothing like that happened. Like if his voice gets tight or if his voice raises like that, that could be a sign, that he's nervous, right? Because he is having to lie to you because he's been caught in something that's not truthful. Right? Because when a man's nervous, when he's anxious, a lot of times his vocal cords will tighten. Okay, so the third sign, and this is something that is within you, right, is if you don't feel safe with his response, if there's something about what he shared with you that it leaves you feeling uncertain, it leaves you feeling unsafe, then that's your intuition, right? That's your body's own natural survival mechanism that has been developed over thousands of years, right? Because the masculine is supposed to be a source of safety for the feminine. And if the masculine is lying or whatever else, so the feminine is always sort of like evaluating, like, is this man safe or not? And if your body is starting to tell you when he's explaining where he was or what he was up to you, that it's not safe and you start feeling unsafe with what it is that he's sharing with you, that's usually a pretty good indicator that something's not right. So trust your body, trust your gut, trust your intuition, okay? And the only caveat to that I want to mention is be wary of projection, right? Sometimes we don't feel safe with what a partner shared with us, but it's because we've got past trauma, because we've been hurt before. And so we may project that past trauma onto our current partner. So ask yourself, is this unsafety that I'm feeling when he's sharing this with me? Is it truly coming from him and what he's sharing? Or is it potentially a past trauma from a past partner that's being projected onto this person? That's just a little caveat there, right? Now, the fourth sign, this is a clear-cut physical sign that he may be lying to you, is that he's not making eye contact with you. This is a classic one. So if he's kind of just like talking, if you ask him a question, if you ask him where he was, and he says, oh, well, I was out with my friends, I was doing this, I was bowling or whatever, but he won't make eye contact with you, or he struggles to sustain eye contact with you. Like maybe he makes it for a second and then he looks away, or he makes it for a second and then he looks up or he looks down. And that's not normal for him, right? That's usually a pretty good sign that he feels guilty holding your gaze because he's telling you something that's not true. Now, the opposite of this can also be true, right? Sometimes a man is lying to you, and this is number 5, right? Sometimes a man is lying to you if he's giving you too much eye contact. And this is something that an experienced liar will often do, right? Because he knows that looking away and not being willing to make eye contact with you is a sign that he's lying. So he will overcompensate and give you too much eye contact. And so if a guy is really like hyper focused on making eye contact with you while he's telling you his story around whatever happened, that's a lot of times a sign that he's compensating for the fact that he's lying. So be conscious of that. Like, especially if he's being too loud, he's being really loud and he's making a lot of eye contact with you, it's because he's trying to, overcompensate. So number 6, and this is a big one, right? This is one on your end, is you find yourself making excuses for him. You find yourself rationalizing and justifying his behavior. Like, oh, well, of course he was out until 2 a.m. He's got a big project coming up and he's been talking about this project and he had to stay up until 2 a.m. and yada, yada, yada. I mean, a lot of times if you find yourself making excuses for your partner's sketchy behavior, or you find yourself making excuses and rationalizing what he's been doing to your friends, to your family, and you find yourself sort of defending him against them, that's a lot of times a sign that he's lying to you, that he's betraying your trust, and you're trying to protect yourself and protect him from his own dishonesty. So ask yourself, have you spent a lot of time sort of defending him and rationalizing what he's been up to yourself or to the people around you? That is a big red flag, okay? Number 7, the 7th sign, is that he uses too many details. He uses too many details in his explanation. Oh, where was I last night? Well, first I went out to dinner with Greg and Tom and Harry, and then we went out for a drink at Rainbow Room, and then we went to this other place, and then we did this, and we went out with these other people, and we did this, and he's got like this script or this itinerary of every little thing, and he feels the need to tell you every little thing that he did and every person that he did it with and all that sort of stuff. If a guy's being too hyper detailed in everything that he's telling you, he's giving you excessive details, that can oftentimes be a sign that he's trying to, again, overcompensate and be aggressive as a way of lying to you, right? And the opposite side of that can also be true as well, right? Number 8 is that he's very vague. He's very vague. He says, oh, well, we went out to a restaurant and then we went to a bar and we did this and I met up with a couple guys. And if he's not willing to give you any specific details and he says, oh, which bar did you go to? Oh, I don't remember. It was late. And, if he's just doesn't remember, relevant details, or he doesn't remember who he was with, a lot of times it's because he doesn't want to throw his friends under the bus, right? If he's lying and bringing in other people as an alibi, as part of his alibi, right? A lot of times he's going to want to leave details out of it so that you can't talk to those other people and then catch him in the lie. You know what I'm saying? So if he's being too vague or too detailed in his answers, unintentionally and unnecessarily, chances are he's lying to you. Now, the 9th sign that a man is lying to you, and this is a big one, right, is that he gets super defensive when you ask him questions and starts attacking you. If he starts attacking you, if you start, asking him a question about where he was that night, and he's like, why are you always asking me questions? Why are you, what am I on trial here? Why do you never trust me? Why are you so crazy about, where I'm at and where I've been? This is it never stops with you. You see what I'm saying? If he starts gaslighting you or attacking you instead of just giving you a reasonable explanation, a lot of times it's a guy who's lying to you, and he knows that the best way to neutralize your questions, the best way to neutralize what it is that you're trying to, ask him about, is just to attack you. That's better than him even having to come up with a lie, is just to attack you so much that you feel bad about even asking him what it is that, he's got going on. So if he's attacking you like that, it's another example of that. The best defense is a good offense, and he doesn't even have to come up with a lie, right? So I want you to check in with yourself and ask yourself if any of these 9 cues, if a guy's giving you any of these 9 cues, because if he is, or he's giving you multiple ones or more than 2 or 3 of them, then you definitely want to ask yourself, what is he hiding? Truly. And ask yourself, do I want to be in a relationship with someone who is not being honest with me? And there's an opportunity for you, right? If you really truly feel, based upon your own intuition and the signs that you're getting from him, that he's lying from you, I invite you to have a constructive confrontation with him. I invite you to say, hey, my experience with you is that you're not being honest with me about this. And I don't appreciate that, because trust is one of the most important foundations of being in a relationship. And if we can't trust each other, then our relationship is not working, right? So there's an opportunity for you if you really truly feel that he's not being honest with you, vulnerably stand your ground with him. Let him know how important trust is as a value for you, and invite him to be honest with you. And if he's unwilling or unable to meet you there, and you really feel like he's continuing to lie to you, he's doubling down on it, then that's a great opportunity for you to then, bye. Walk away from that guy, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to take a second, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and be sure to click that link in the comments and caption. I have created some awesome training that's gonna make a huge difference in your connections and relationships with men. And sound off in the comments. Let me know what other cues you've seen that are surefire tells that a man is lying. I love the comments on these videos because they give me a whole bunch more insight on different ways that men communicate that they're not being honest with you, okay? And be sure to stay tuned to this next video, okay? This next video is another lying video, 5 signs that he is lying to you. This is a deep dive into 5 key signs that he's lying to you. You'll be able to click on that next, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye. At the end of the day, the best detector you have for your partner's truth and honesty is your own intuition. It's your own gut, right? And you've got that higher voice always talking to you.